The Savudrija lighthouse is the oldest active lighthouse on the Adriatic and the northernmost Croatian lighthouse on the northwestern cape of the Istrian peninsula. It is located 9 kilometers from Umag near the Slovenian border, on the westernmost cape of Croatia, and is 36 meters high. The range of the main light is 30 miles, while the range of the auxiliary light is 12 miles. The project of the lighthouse was made by the architect Pietro Nobile on the order of the Trieste Deputazione di Borsa, today's Chamber of Commerce, and under the patronage of the Austrian Emperor Francis I, mentioned in the inscription at the base of the lighthouse. The Trieste Deputazione di Borsa financed the lighthouse's construction by selling shares. She had the greatest interest in making navigation towards the port of Trieste safer. The Savudrija lighthouse can be seen from Opicina above Trieste, which was once important for communication. Namely, with special flags, it was possible to announce which ships would enter the port. Hence, the alerted port authorities and mediators had enough time to complete the preparations for the docking of the ships. Construction began in March 1817. In December, 80% of the total height was already built. Local stone quarried on the nearby coast and processed on site was used. This is why it can be said that this is a real Istrian lighthouse. The roof of the lighthouse is covered with tiles that weigh as much as 70 kilograms and withstand even the strongest storms. On the night of the 17th of April, 1818, after a little more than a year since the beginning of construction, the lighthouse lit up. The lighting of the lighthouse was attended by Emperor Francis I himself, who was visiting Trieste at the time, and passing through Savudrija. The Savudrija lighthouse is the first in the world to use gas obtained from the distillation of coal for lighting. The raw material came from hard coal mines on the east coast of Istria, more precisely in the Laban area. It soon became clear that using gas obtained by the distillation of coal might not be the best and cheapest option, so the construction of another such lighthouse in Istria on Poor Island near Cape Carmagnac was abandoned. In case of failure of the gas installation, oil could also be used for lighting. A 60-meter-high radio antenna used to be located near the lighthouse. It was commissioned in 1934 by order of the Italian Navy. It was dismantled in 1949 and reassembled above Portorij in Slovenia. In the same year, Radio Copper started broadcasting through that antenna. The first so-called lighthouse assistants was Stefano Schmidt and Bartolomeo Micala. In the year 1828, the first was replaced by Giovanni Giacomo Morel from the Savudrian family, who still lives in that place. Today, only one lighthouse keeper works in the lighthouse because the lighting is automated. After its construction, the Savudrija lighthouse became a major attraction for both domestic and foreign visitors in a relatively short period. Sometimes locals and visitors even wanted to climb to the top of the lighthouse by force. They made the work of the lighthouse keepers difficult, and their violent climbing on the lighthouse posed a great danger to everyone. To prevent people from rushing to the lighthouse, it was decided that the lighthouse keepers who worked there would receive a permit for weapons, but also for shooting in case of problems. With that alone, the lighthouse keepers were able to solve the problem of mischievous visitors who wanted to get to the top of the lighthouse by force. It is not known if anyone was killed in this whole story. And one last interesting thing. Although the real story of the construction of the lighthouse is well known, a legend arose about the Savudrija lighthouse, according to which the Austrian prince and diplomat Clemens Wenzel Lothar von Metternich had a lighthouse built with a house for a beautiful local noblewoman with whom he allegedly fell in love at a ball in Vienna. Unfortunately, fate made the count's chosen one die of a serious illness without ever seeing the light of the lighthouse, the pledge of their love, and the unused love nest. Completely discouraged, Count Metternich decided never to revisit the lighthouse, and legend says that the steps of a desperate lover searching for his beloved can be heard through the empty spaces to this day.
out in the